Hi guys, welcome back. This is the third installment of this build of the Midnight Pumpkin made by Tamiya. So in the last video we got to section 10, which is basically just the engine and gearbox is built. So we're going to move on now to step 11, and basically we've got the two pieces that hold the gearbox to the chassis, and we have these components here. So on this piece here there's actually like a curve, it's about a 45-degree angle. So we pop this spring over there, that has to go behind, and push that down. Then this bar will go through the gearbox, and in the back of here is a slot. So this bar that goes through here has to go under this spring, so it pushes this up, because when you accelerate the gearbox, I'll show it on the gearbox will be like that, and when you accelerate it moves up and down like this, and without those springs this would just be slamming against the top of here, basically with sort of no control. So this is just to try to keep that movement under some control so it doesn't actually damage the plastic of the gearbox. These springs are renowned for breaking after a period of time, especially if you're going to be sort of hard accelerating. Obviously this is a wheelie car, so you're going to be giving it some throttle to get the front wheels in the air, and that's what these are for. And there is a part which I'm going to have a look and download, which you 3D print, and it goes on this piece here, and again that kind of makes it pivot. And the other mod that I've seen people do, which works with a certain amount of success, is to actually mount a shock absorber from here going up to the chassis. So when this kicks, you've actually got a shock absorber here to control that motion. So there's various different things you can do. Just for now I'm going to build it stock with these, and we'll see how long they last. Let's get on. So we need the chassis, we need bag B, we need the 12mm screws. Right, so we need this upside down. Then we take this piece and we need to slide the pin through. Let's put a little bit of grease on this, just so it doesn't need much, just enough to sort of give it a thin coating of grease, A, to stop rust, and B, to prevent it from wearing the plastic excessively. So we'll pop that in there. Right, so we're going to attach the gearbox to the chassis now. I've already added one of these side pieces, so hopefully I can pop this in there, get this one in, and then try and wiggle that in. There you go. So it's got the motor mounted. So let's screws in, so hold that. So there we go. So now we have an articulating chassis. So we need to now, they've popped out again. So we need to pop those through, and we'll go yellow to yellow for now. And if it's in the wrong direction, we can just switch the motors. We can just switch the motor wires afterwards. So we'll pull some of this back. Okay, so there we go. So the motor's connected. So next step, number 13, we are going to need 2 springs. we are going to need 2 of these shock absorber rods, and we are going to need, off of this sprue, we're going to need 2 shock absorber bodies, and these are very easy to get off. So let's just have a look, see what the burrs are like. Yeah, it's quite bad. D9. One of them. So let's put that back in there. So we just clean these up. I don't know if I can do it with these. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. It's quite nice actually. So okay. So now these have to pop onto there. They pop over these ball joints here. Not by hand, they don't. Do these open wide enough? Yeah. So we need to pop these on. There we go, that's one. And we'll pop this other side on. There we go. So we've got those on. So now we need bag A, which is a 5mm nut. So we will take that one. So we've got one. There we go. So we want that. BT6, the rubber tubing. So we need to cut this to 18mm. It's just a short piece of rubber tubing. So I do have a measure here. So we go to about there. So that's as close as makes no odds, that one. So we'll cut the other one the same. So we've got 2 of those. So, right, now we need to start assembling these shock absorbers. So I'm going to put a small amount of grease on here, just purely to lubricate this as it goes in up and down inside the plastic. It doesn't need to be anything too special. Just rub that all the way around, just so it has a light coating. Then pop that in there. This will go up to there. Then we need to compress the spring, put a piece of this rubber on. This just basically is going to act like a bump stop. It's a really good fit. That's really difficult to get that on there. There we go. So now we need one of these small nuts. And there. So I could have done this without the spring, to be honest. Like so. And then this piece will come round and needs to go into there. There we go. So now we have a functioning rear suspension. So we're going to move on to 14, which is going to be these 2 bars here. and we need D3, which is going to need this part, so let's take him off the sprue. D3, which is not on that sheet, so it must be on this one. So we need D3. Very good. So next we have these components. So on this end, we need to pop this through, and this has to go on like that. And again, we use the trusty wheel nut spanner. We drive this one in. Okay, so there you go. So that now will come around and click into there. And we need both of these drive shafts, both of these steering arms, and we need 2 of these. These are easy to spin off. So there we go, we've got the 4 of those. Let's just give those a little clean up on the end. So now we just take these linkages and we thread this piece on, and if need to, because these can be quite difficult, if you just grip this in the center with a pair of grips, and if you're finding this is really difficult, you can, if you find the right one, you can slip a screwdriver in to turn this. Makes it a lot easier. So what length do we need? So this big one needs to be 60mm long. That's 60mm without the ends, is it? No, it's 40mm there, so it needs to be 60mm in total. So we've got a long way to go. So we're going to leave those at that length for now. They can be adjusted later on. So for the next step, we also need BB2, which is on this one. Right, so first off, I'm going to mount this piece on. Like so. It should actually go down, there you go. And we need bag B, the 12mm. So with this cordless that I'm using, this one does have a clutch, so I've put the clutch on the lowest setting so it will actually click out. The clutch will slip rather than stripping the thread. So there we go, so that's all the way down now, and this would just ratchet. So we know that they're all at the same tension, and that's nice and tight. So next we need to pop these arms on for the steering, and again you will need a pair of pliers because they're a really good fit, to be honest. They're not generally much trouble, these ball joints, unless you start hitting walls and things head on. So we've got those on, and next we need to add this piece, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 12mm screws again out of here. So we've got 2, 7. So there we go. So let's get this located at the back. So again, I'll put these screws in and we'll come back in a minute. Right guys, so as you can see now, we're getting there. We've got quite a few pieces done. We've got our wires come off there, so let's put that back in. So we are now up to, that's 15 that we've done. So I'm going to call it a day on this video, and next time when we come back we'll start on 16, which is the front wishbones, and start getting the front suspension and steering all installed. So thank you for watching this video. If you've watched to the end, you're a legend, and I will see you guys next time.